6 o'clock, I'm going to call the meeting of the Madison School Board to order. Need to take a roll call vote for remote participation via RSA 91A to 3A to allow Jeremy to join us remotely. So I'll take a motion for that. Motion by Sarah.
Yes.
Second by Ed. Sherry, yes?
Yes.
Sarah, yes?
Yes.
Ed, yes? Jim, yes?
Of course.
Good, thank you. I like it. Jeremy's got a little thumbs up there, too.
He doesn't even know it.
All
He's
right.
looking handsome over there.
All right, so we're going to take a motion now to go into non-public. So motion to go into non-public. Sherry and Sarah?
Sure.
Sherry, yes. Sarah?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Jim, yes, we're in non-public. Red light's on. 6:45, we're back. Action as a result of non-public. The board approved the nominations of Robin Stewart for a special ed case steward. Thank you. Special ed case manager, and Judith Preston. Did I say that correct? As after-school program lead teacher. And then the board also accepted the resignation with regret of Louisa Bryant with provisions. And that all, did I get that? And we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I had to stop and not look
I
at
know.
Jeremy because your words were delayed a little bit, so I was hearing. No, that's fine. I was hearing
Since
it.
you're in uniform
like, oh,
and
Right.
It's late. It's like singing a song.
Oh. Why are you so nice? You
All right. So
shouldn't have
back those so I don't get accused of that. Public session, action as a result, done. Approval of the agenda. I'll take a motion to approve the agenda. Motion by Sarah, second by Ed. Any additions, deletions, or changes? Seeing none, all in favor?
Yep.
Carried. Approval of the minutes of the 10-7 board meeting. I'll
nervous
take a
there?
motion to approve the minutes of the 10-7 board meeting. Motion by Sarah, second by Sherry. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. All right, any opposed or abstaining? Carried. You have your consent agenda, you have your Madison Elementary School, Kennet Middle School, Kennet High School, principal letters, your capital reserve fund balance, and a copy of your capital reserve in your packets. That is readable for all of us who are aging population.
speak to yourself.
Can I make a request?
Yes.
Can we ask Kenneth if we can get an enrollment by grade for Kenneth Middle School?
Yep.
If there's like, how many 6th, 7th, and 8th graders? Just to see what the figures are?
You want, Ed, do you want that for middle and high school?
No, just the middle school.
Middle school, 6, 7, 8. See how many
So we
that-
can understand that and, you know,
You got it.
keep track of our STBA.
Yep.
If there's no, or
I'm on it.
thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions on the consent agenda? Seeing none. Motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Jeremy, second by Ed. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries. Parent conferences tomorrow. Also election day, so.
Also, the PTO is holding a bake sale, so
PTO's
please
holding
bring
a
your,
bake sale.
all
That's
your
not
money.
what's in the chairperson's report.
Sorry. I'll just be
But the PTO is holding a bake sale at elections tomorrow as well. Veterans Day is on the 11th. There will be no school that day as well. The SAU 13 joint board meeting is on the 25th of November at 6 p.m. in Tamworth, and that is also the public hearing on the budget.
In the gymnasium.
In the gymnasium, thank you. Thanksgiving recess is the 27th to the 29th. There'll be no school. And our next regularly scheduled school board meeting will be the 2nd of December. Oh my God. We're there in December
It's
already.
crazy.
That's all. Public comment.
We have no public.
I'll say something. It looks like the playground's coming along really nicely, so that's exciting
Oh, I
stuff.
didn't notice.
I know, I saw it on there, but I just want to say it first.
She just wants to be in everybody's report tonight.
I'll have my own report soon.
Sarah's report is next, so we're going to skip that. Principal's report. Heather.
So the playground is being installed today.
Sorry, I know you.
Shocking, Richard. We do expect that they will finish on Wednesday.
Wow.
It will be open on Friday. is
This
what we're hoping.
Wednesday?
Yes.
That's
All
amazing.
things go as planned. They expect to be gone Wednesday. Thursday would still be just everything setting. and
Right.
clearing. So hopefully on it on Friday.
Nice.
The PTO was gracious to cover the cost for the additional mulch that we need and for the company to spread it.
You're
So,
welcome.
yeah, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will
Does this
say,
include the adaptive equipment as well?
nope, that is phase 2.
Good try.
That's to come.
That's the bake sale tomorrow.
I will say that there are the things that we pulled out of the playground area, the big metal poles, are currently at the back parking lot, tree line, that need to be removed, and I'm not sure how we're making that happen, so.
What was that again?
So,
The pipes.
Yeah, I know what
the
you mean.
equipment
How did
that
they
was
get
pulled
there?
out- Well, because my husband came, brought his tractor and lifted it out, but he didn't have a trailer with him that day to put it on.
okay,
So he just put them
okay.
back there. They do have concrete on them. They're heavy, but we just need to get rid of that before the snow flies.
So we need to think
How
about
many
that.
poles?
6 maybe?
Can they be scrapped? Is that what-
There's concrete in the bottom, so you have to get the concrete off the bottom, but yeah.
Interesting.
So-
Okay.
So that's the need that we have. Sorry, we did what we could so far.
No, that's
Appreciate
it.
I mean,
I don't know.
is there somebody that we can?
Okay.
Okay.
Questions regarding the playground?
No, it looks great.
Questions for
I'm
Heather?
grateful for you guys making it happen and all that stuff, so thank you.
Them
The
guys.
kids are so
Town.
excited.
Thank you.
Like they keep
I know.
I mean, watching today, like everything be delivered and stuff, but then looking at the plans that are outside Holly's office on that bulletin board, they've been checking it out, kind of talking about it. So to see like, oh, that's up, oh, and that. So they're pretty excited.
It's great. They
So
deserve it.
It's gonna be fantastic.
And it's really exciting, so thank you, town people also.
Perfect. Heather Sherwood.
How many people are watching, Asia?
No one right now.
Okay, cool, that sucks. Oh, that's okay. It's probably.
You bleeped it because Sarah was talking.
It's fine, I get it, I don't blame you, I don't blame you. You're just It's okay, she's
All
my
right,
friend. She can
Heather
say that.
Sherwood, you're up.
Revenue, I still have not yet billed for ESY, and I have not done any billing for Paris, provided by Madison, nor have I billed Madison for, case management services provided by Cameron. There's a lot of billing to happen, so when that does happen, I will highlight it in the revenue report.
Okay.
Thank
Because
you.
I will be super excited to get this finished. Say that.
Question, yeah.
Yeah, are we leasing the space to the SAU, or is there some, I know we were working on that, is it one of those leases for a dollar type thing?
So the discussion was to something like SAU lease where it's a dollar lease from all the districts, so $3. But a reimbursement for electricity and oil and internet based on square footage out of the total gross of being used by EC out of the
Yeah.
gross square footage of the building.
Okay,
Have not done that yet.
okay,
And then there was something in for administrative.
Right. So right now it's all lumped together under administrative lease or
Okay.
fees.
Yeah.
And the hope is there's enough there to cover that. And we're trying to get an idea of what it costs to do UAs. I know Heather and I have had some discussion about materials used even like for art.
Mhm.
You know, that's spent in the ECE, like,
Because she needs special stuff for them,
Right.
whether scissors
yeah,
or
boy,
whatever, just different,
sometimes I, try to, so there's a lot of things that I would like to say we have nailed down absolutely.
yeah,
We don't yet.
It's a learning experience and it's,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
happening,
But
so
there's
it's
money
great, so.
earmarked there to come back to Madison. It's somewhere in the realm of 10 grand. I'm hoping that's enough to cover custodial and kitchen and,
Mhm.
just
There are quite a few
everything.
kids that are taking advantage of the food program, right?
Yep.
That's great.
So,
That is
yeah.
great.
Yep,
Good.
how was it?
that's good.
Other questions regarding revenues?
I didn't really look at it too much.
All right, expenditures?
Expenditures through October, so 2 months in. I don't think anything. Of course, I don't like this big gap of white space, but that's supposed to update with Tyler. We've been having fun with our software yet again. That big gap
Oh,
wasn't there last year.
got it.
Am I on the wrong page?
Yeah, which one are you looking
You're
at?
on budget, sweetie, we're looking
Yeah.
at expenditures.
I'm
See,
sorry.
we got lines.
I'm
That's
looking-
okay, I'm like, yeah, we
Yeah,
got
I'm
lines.
like,
Right,
where's the
right
white
there,
space?
It's not as bad, but it's still there. Yours doesn't look like that?
No.
This is general fund expenditures.
That's what mine looks like.
Yeah.
Mine says general fund expenditures without a lot
Yeah,
of space.
that big white space isn't supposed to be.
Oh, with after the account codes, got
It
it.
gets worse as we get going.
Okay,
But at least the function subtotals are now back in
What
line.
does she mean, these?
just the extra
looks-
space there, yeah.
Oh, we don't care about that.
She's from the accounting world, she likes things tight.
Everything needs to be lined up and.
It's
you know.
okay.
It looks good to me,
Yeah, it
Heather,
fills up
so
the
you're
page.
doing a great job, so keep it up, girlfriend.
Yeah, if you could adjust your
It
column
looks
widths
like
here,
the subtotals.
it'd be nice.
You're working
What was
hard
that,
for
Jeremy?
us, Heather.
I said, it looks like the subtotals in there, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and they actually line up with the column, which they did
Right.
not at
You're doing a good job.
annual meeting last year.
Right, oh, I
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that, yes.
that was awful.
Yep,
So.
all right.
Small steps,
It's okay.
but
It's a lot of work.
I have not yet seen an email from school care, so I don't have the final increase for health insurance yet. And
We budgeted it.
I budgeted 10, that's what's in here, and
Hoping on one.
leave it now.
You're
Right.
funny. You are so funny.
Try.
I
But,
did
yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, well, are there any questions on expenditures before I just like keep jumping forward?
Jump on.
Drop the plow,
Jump
hit the
on.
snow.
Jump on forward.
Okay. Uh, Before I go to, well, I guess it kind of coincides with budget timeline. We would normally do our public hearing in January.
Yes,
For the deliberative session, which would be the 6th of January.
yes.
So backing up, we would want to have our December meeting where we would have the warrant articles and they get moved to the public hearing. But our meeting in December is the 2nd. And it's really, we don't know when we'll get the kind of numbers for tuition, which,
Probably that weekend before, which gives you no time.
so I know we had discussed and I was gonna throw it out if the board would consider having a special meeting on, say, the 16th that wouldn't interfere with any other districts, that was budget only.
What day would that be?
Monday, December 16th?
That's fine with me.
Oh, if it's fine with Sarah, I
Then
guess
that's all
we're
that
all
matters.
good.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you,
think
Jim.
we're good.
Thank you.
Yeah, pencil
Thank
that
you,
in.
guys. Thank you. I love when you're so like
I am,
cordial to
I
me
am,
and
I am
so-
amenable to the 16th
so
as well.
amicable
What
and
time
kind.
would you do that? 6 o'clock?
If it's-
Regular meeting time?
Yeah, because we want to
But
think about
usually you
budget
do
committee.
budget at 7
7,
You,
for all
oh,
the other times,
Yeah.
that's what I'm just asking.
if we
Well-
started at 7.
Well, we could tell them we're
And
doing
this
it
would just be
earlier.
budgetary, right?
That is
Yeah,
correct.
right.
It'd be basically the last run of the budget, finalizing it and moving,
The warrant,
motioning
everything.
everything to move to the public hearing in
Yeah.
January.
So whatever.
Do you want us to try to coordinate with the budget committee?
Yeah,
Jim?
I'm fine
If
at
they're-
6.
If they're agreeable to 6, see if that's.
Yeah.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we,
We have a budget committee representative who could
What was
make
that,
sure they're
Cherry
okay
or?
with that. So yes, let's do it at
I
6.
don't know how to do math.
If they give you a lot of kickback, Sarah,
6 on the 16th.
Then
Yes,
what?
please.
I'll kick them back.
no, then let us know and we'll move it to the
Okay.
7 o'clock and we can
I mean,
discuss
yeah,
it.
I
at
can
that.
do whatever, I just,
so Sarah, you've got that, you're going to talk with
Sure.
Sharon? Okay.
I'll text her right now.
All
Oh,
right.
she's in her own meeting. Never mind. I'll
Okay.
text her tomorrow.
okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes.
That just gives enough time to actually get it in,
Yep.
the changes
And
in.
have a conversation about it next round.
Yep.
I'm okay with that because we fall on a
This is a nice
tight
pen.
timeline.
Thanks.
Yeah, right.
Thank you.
Gotta give it back.
So moving on,
Yes.
Trying to steal it.
moving on to budget.
Okay, so actually, before you go there, I'm gonna tap on your budget timeline for just a
Okay.
minute because I wanna highlight a few points. Tuesday, January 14th is the last day for petition warrant articles, schools in town. Tuesday, January 14th is also the last day for negotiated cost items to be finalized. Tuesday, the 21st is the last day to hold at least one public hearing. We'll have done that at the beginning of January. And then just for Mike's office's sake, Monday, the January 27th is the last day to post budget and default for the deliberative session, which needs to be held between the 1st and the 8th of February, which our meeting will be well within, so we'll be okay with that as well. I just like to put those out there because people always say, tell us when the petition.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Is it will be a petition warrant article for the schoolhouse out front? Do you think?
I don't know if there'll be a petition warrant article for the schoolhouse or not, but I will, at the next meeting, I'll see if they are asking the board to put anything forward, because I sit as a representative to that.
Right, I just didn't know where they're kind of moving. If they
Yeah.
have any idea of what?
The next meeting is, I believe, the 19th of this month,
Okay.
so hopefully by December 2nd, I'll have some answers for you guys.
Okay.
All right? Moving on, budget V2, look at this, what time does that say?
Wow. Couldn't
Anybody
believe
look
it'd
at
be
that clock? Jeremy, what time is it by your watch?
I got 0300.
All right, yeah, keep moving. You're off by a few hours. Okay, budget.
Budget, me too.
All right, at the pleasure of the board, how would you like to proceed through here? I've made some
Whatever you
comments
wanna do.
moving in and through, so I just wanted, I'm happy to go page by page.
That's fine.
Um,
Page by page is good.
So,
We're on time, so let's.
Yep.
first page,
Go
page
for it.
1, basically you have your teacher salaries, basically they are all at 0. One that did kick out to me was a decrease in
Would you like
teachers'
me to
wages.
explain that?
Yes, I would, please.
That would be the student support position that was grant funded, it has to be budgeted, and then the grant kicks in the revenue, so it offsets it, but it is not being filled this year, and it cannot be in the grant next year, there isn't room for it, so we're taking it out.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. And Heather, if you see anything that you think needs to be addressed, let us know. Page 2, longevity, I saw a decrease, I'm assuming that's a staff member that resigned.
Yes.
Okay, that was my thought, but just wanted to check. Everything else is basically level funded. Moving on, and anybody that has questions, if I'm looking at my paper, just speak up, please. Page 3 of the budget, teacher retirement has a large decrease. Is that because of that same staff that was grant funded?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to page 4, you have an increase in science materials, Heather.
Yes, so we had purchased some mystery science kits, sorry. Mystery science kits previously, and so this is the year of replenishing some of those consumable items, so.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's not much.
Right.
No, it's not, it's just,
Gonna really-
the 100% on the end is what throws
Yeah,
me.
I looked at the dollar stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so small on the music equipment as well. Moving on to page 5.
Got both
Computer
signals
equipment.
here.
Mike, I asked you some questions about this already, I'm gonna bring it up here as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Need to replace 7 laptops and the 40 bit defenders and
Yes.
bit defenders.
So we are moving, we are trying to work on our network security, and currently we do have some staff members that are using their own personal devices. We're trying to move towards everyone being issued a district device for security and best practices. There's a lot of schools that are being hit by, cyber ransomware, and we're trying to stay on the right on the forefront of making sure we're up to best practices with security. So we're going to crosswalk those numbers to make sure that that's a good fit with who we have coming in and leaving, and same with Bitdefender. Looking at some numbers prior to this meeting, I think we're going to adjust that slightly. So I think we're going to get move the Bitdefender from 40 down to 30, and I think the laptops, I think we can cut that by at least 1. So we'll adjust that, but that's the rationale for really trying to keep up with that.
Okay, so it's still some fluidity.
Are we looking at a VPN? Is that what we're looking at, like a VPN, or?
No, we're not using a VPN. I think we have some available with some MOUs we have with either some of our cameras for our law enforcement that we utilize so that they're using a VPN so they can get in without accessing the network.
Yeah.
But no, this would be more for making sure that we have antivirus, things like that. That's protecting. If you think about protecting the network on a larger scale, would be our firewall, and then the Bit Defender would be protecting machines at kind of that local level.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So function regular education programs is down 1.41% right now. Moving on to
No, where did
Yeah.
you read that off of?
page 5, halfway
Okay.
down.
Sorry, thank you.
That's
I
okay.
did want to point out, there was a regular ed para on the approved budget. I moved all the paras into special ed for budgeting,
Okay.
and then we'll split them out, which really matters to me for grant and maintenance of effort paperwork that I file with the state, not so much anything else.
Okay.
But,
All right.
so I guess that was to get ready, because special ed's gone up a little bit.
Well, that was my next question right there with a big question mark. 36.23% increase. Is that just moving
Yep.
over and the
Over, and I also budgeted for the, there's a need for one-to-one pair right now, open position that needs to be filled, and the expectation is that will be needed next year, so that is in the budget.
okay?
It is,
Yes.
that position is not in this building, just so we're clear, because
Okay.
we talked about, not taking away from Madison students, so it's a
Right.
student that's in a different placement at a charter school that
Okay,
requires that, so.
okay.
If the budget defaults, does that get filled? As far as dollar amounts?
I included that in the budget default.
If it's a contractual need
Okay.
based on an IEP,
Yeah,
I would
I
say
just-
yes.
just
Yep.
trying to make sure.
That was my,
Good question.
my, justification.
Okay,
Yeah, we have to fill that by law.
right, okay.
But good job putting it out there.
All right.
Because people always ask that too.
Yeah, I get it.
No,
Gotta ask.
right.
Moving on to
exactly.
36. Contracted services down $39,500. Was that the preschool
That's
contracted services?
moving out some preschool stuff. There's 10 there, and Jen and I have not sat down to go in detail. There is some out-of-district contracted services that still get posted here that may go away next year, so I just need to go through that.
Okay. So that's some of the potential savings that we told people we would have based on if the preschool were to pass.
We still go to the out-of-district where it is?
Out-of-district numbers I did not change. There's been some changes this year that point towards perhaps needing to hold on to that entirely.
Yeah, no, I just wanna make
So-
sure that we don't cut ourselves short if we know of a need coming in. Cause that number goes up and down like a lot.
Right, it's not a $10,000.
No, that's a 700,000.
Right.
I think I lowered it to 100 on version 1. It's now
Yep.
back up to
Yeah.
flat.
Okay.
That's a scary one.
Yep.
Yes. Moving on to page 7. The only thing I noticed to question, I think it's just based on staff changes, was the guidance counselor.
Wages,
Yes.
census change. Yeah, there's some up and down both ways this year.
Yep, we noticed some up here, but then down on what I'm gonna call probably the next page.
Can I just speak to your wages co-curricular, which I know isn't a big dollar amount, but
Yes,
it is a change, so, that budget has not moved since 2018, and that only moved because we added giving more, stipends to additional people who help out with the drama programs, so we haven't really increased the stipends that they get, so I am proposing increases to those stipends, so that's what that dollar amount.
That's $750 increase.
$750.
Okay.
Yep.
And this was, did I hear that right? Tammy's Tammy.
The spring musical will be her 50th.
Awesome.
I had to do some research.
You getting some big banners and stuff?
Yeah, we'll
All
see.
right.
Want to go out of the gate?
He said it. He said it.
Do anything once. Or
I-
twice, I
I
guess.
was gonna say, I remember that time, Jim. Just kidding.
Guidance supplies, so nurse wages where we went down a little bit based on the same type of census changes there. Moving on to page 9.
Question.
Yes.
Are health insurance stipends contractual, or are they?
They're in the
School board
CBA.
policy. Okay.
They're collectively bargained for.
Yep, good enough. Thank you.
Page 9, I didn't have anything there. Page 10, teacher tuition reimbursement is up greatly there. Explanation?
We looked at previous usage over the past few years and noticed that it's going up, so we've always tried to adjust it based on whatever the use is. And when I first got here, it was tens of thousands of dollars that was in there, and so we've just tried to be responsive to whatever's being used. So.
Okay,
More usage.
all right.
That's good.
Yep. 41. Scrolling down through.
Oh, sorry.
Right, can I go back to page 10?
Yes, yes.
The occupational therapy services, 26%. It's not a lot, but do we have a bigger need for that?
Oh.
I think part of it is because we added an extra day for preschool. Would that be? But we also have a different OT working
I
with
increased
us.
it. We have two contracts. One does the assessments and one does the oversight of the,
With supervision of the CODA.
yeah, the supervision of the CODA. And the rates increased this year, so that is now reflected in this budget, because this happened after budgeting last year when all increases like it happened.
And the current OT that we have doing assessments and stuff is through a company,
Yes.
which costs more than
Than
just
an
privately
individual.
contracting with the person. So,
And that's not something our CBA can do?
occupational therapy is different,
Right.
so, yeah,
Alright, just-
no.
And this is budgeting, I don't wanna say worst case scenario, but that is that upper end of their budget, like what they provide up to.
And some of that could be reimbursable if they're used for preschool. For,
But it
say,
wouldn't be in
a-
this,
For
she
say
said.
There
Tamworth
is
child.
a chance that if it's preschool, we can reimburse it through IDA, even if it's Madison
But
students.
this number is not included in the,
That's not indicative of,
Right.
because they're servicing preschool
Right.
students. No.
right.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
That's
So let's not
more
confuse the
just
issue
in
here.
personnel and pricing structure.
Right.
Well, and I think we're also servicing students at least one charter school, if not both.
Right.
For occupational therapy as well, where I don't think we were doing that last year.
Okay.
So, yeah, there are lots of factors that go into that. How about
Right.
that for an
It's a
answer?
good question,
no,
though.
I
Yeah,
just-
it's a good
I
question.
just saw it up.
Because it's interesting to know, and people, aren't aware of all that really goes into it.
right. Oh, there's a lot.
That is
Right.
a service, particularly on preschool, that we can put through to IDEA, and if there's new people this year, like at a charter school that we were not expected, wasn't on the radar,
Right.
that can happen, that can be reimbursed also.
Right.
Okay.
But this is, let's be clear, this is not the preschool.
No. I'm saying that.
I'm just saying, let's
My
just be
question
very-
was
I
more
know.
that if that service that Madison buys is utilized for a preschool student for, say, another school district,
It would be billed.
it would be billed to
Correct.
that, so it
Right.
could be revenues
We
as
just
well.
don't want
Revenue
people
and
to-
also.
No, it's not saying we're increasing stuff here for the preschool.
So we can also look at
Thank you.
Medicaid reimbursement for some of those services too.
'Cause
So
you know how that
there's
goes.
opportunities for, as we're providing more services, an opportunity to recoup some of that as well.
Yep.
And we have to be extra careful, because we cannot bill Medicaid and then try to get reimbursement through IDEA,
Oh, right.
because it's double
People tell me.
dipping.
Correct.
Don't you love me, Sherry? Thanks.
Page 41,
You're lucky to have me as
or
a friend.
11 down the bottom,
Very lucky.
the GASB is just every other year. Hate that for budgeting purposes, honestly, but there's no way
I
around
thought
it.
about leaving it on there, but, not valid next year.
Fair enough. Page 42.
Your board dues went up for the first
Great.
time in years,
Fine.
they say.
What did you say, fine?
Cancel it.
Did you say a different one? That we taught you to, it's not.
Yep, so nothing there. Page 43 or 13. Oh, I guess I want to back up to 12. Admin assistant has an increase there, and that was based on the recommendations from
The non-CBA policy,
the non-CBA policy. Thank you. We created last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's effective in there.
Can I just ask a
Yes.
procedural question on page 13? Why would the retirement actually go down for the admin assistant principal? Is that a way the state
The
does it?
percentage rate changed, the
Yeah.
contribution for the employer changed starting next year. They seem to change it every 2-3 years.
Yep, got a break there for once.
That's kind of random. I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's only
A
500
very
bucks.
small
but yeah.
Right.
decrease, but
Yeah.
across
At
the
least
board.
it's going
But
down.
it'll go
That's
down.
the only thing going down.
It should go down. Will teachers go down as well?
Teachers,
Everyone.
yeah, that's
Okay.
reflected in their number also.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it down any day. General office supplies, I mean, it's not up a lot, but 57%, $500. Is that just,
So those are things that we use to build school culture. So anything that has to do with like our house system or presenting for staff, that's what that's for.
software on page 14?
And that is administrative software, so that's Alma.
So that's our student information system.
That's the one you suckered us into last year, isn't it?
We have a much superior product, and the product we were using was very antiquated. And this does.
It's okay, Mike.
a
You don't
lot
have to
more.
justify it.
I
It's
liked
okay.
getting the
It's
faxes
okay.
when
And
school was
yes,
canceled.
yes,
okay.
the Morse
The
code,
faxes!
Morse code, yeah, of course, smoke signals, yes. So yeah, we're and I will say in addition, I think we're really trying to utilize Alma more to its full capability. So there's a lot more we can do with it. And that's one of our goals. We're really trying to work going.
So we're moving up to DOS?
Yes, exactly.
Windows coming in 10 years.
Y2K.
The
True.
custodian
Right.
wages and changes, that's based on census change and the change we made last year.
The building refurbishment, so you did
Oh,
talk
yes.
last meeting about putting that
That back in
40,000
now.
back in
Where are
for that.
Oh, you're a
14?
page ahead of me. I think.
Where are we?
You on 15?
14?
I was on 15 because
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry.
he said custodian, so.
That was
Yeah,
14.
Sorry, page 15,
Okay, oh, both, okay.
we had the removal of building refurbishment, that was the playground. And we had talked about putting
Right.
40 in last month to cover half of the cost if we were to get matching grants for the other section
For
2
the
Phase.
adaptive. Thank you. I was looking for that word. I couldn't get it out of my head, and it wasn't going with a different choice of words.
Good idea.
Thank
You're
you.
learning. So proud of you. So
Um,
proud. I got one.
So we'll add the $40,000 back in
Yes.
there, unless anybody has a concern about that. Sarah?
Should we make it more?
Sarah, you don't want to support a playground?
Should we make it more than 40?
No. I'm not okay with that yet.
Are you not supporting a playground, Jim?
I didn't say that.
Do we feel good with the building repairs at 50? Seems like we fixed a whole lot in the last couple of years. I just don't know.
Don't jinx us, Ed. Uh-oh.
No, but
Is
we've
there
had,
something
we've had,
that we
we've
need
had
to
stuff.
know?
But there's other stuff in here, so
Yeah.
that's why
Yeah.
I'm
We
asking now.
continue to fix stuff,
Well,
so,
I know, but we fixed.
A lot.
like, I wouldn't want to go lower.
Right. Well, that was my question. I don't want to lower it.
Okay.
Is that a good number?
Is that an adequate number?
Do you want it higher?
The 50,000 building repairs?
Yeah.
That's where we
Why don't
were.
we wait till after
You
the
just
bake
are
sale?
all over the place.
Jeremy, you're not here to give us your money. Jeremy always gives us at least $20.
I'm not gonna say it. Take a break.
Both furnace pumps.
I don't have it, she does.
Fix
The
that.
I know.
circulator out in the hallway there.
Right. Not that something else couldn't go, but we fixed
Oh.
a lot of the big stuff recently.
True, but there are still things like we have on the docket of wanting to do, at least bathroom walls, if nothing else upstairs, because that's been torn and ripped at.
There are a
areas
few
to
other
do.
walls
And-
that need
And-
it
and-
too.
Yes, and
The
we do
gym
still
walls.
have things that are feeling like, we had, the septic kind of back up a couple weeks ago. So
Kind of
nobody
back
could use
up?
nobody could use the toilets in this half
That
of the
was
building.
probably because Sarah baked for that week, so.
So,
No, that was the base out you baked for, Jim.
and we're still working on, there are a few things that are not fully, yeah.
So do we have another month
Yes.
Yes.
to adjust this?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, December, and we'll have two December meetings.
Septic sounds more than
Yeah.
50,000.
Right. So I mean, if we could
I'm hoping it's not the septic. We're, so
Did they
there's-
pump it out? Want to talk about it or not really?
The pooper trooper came.
Okay. Let's get it all out here, Heather.
Did their
Let's hear it.
thing.
We got it cleaned out.
Huh?
We got
Was it full?
Got it freed up.
There was something that was clogged. I don't
Okay.
know what it was. There's something that was clogged.
Okay. Because do they come routinely? Aren't they scheduled to come?
Well, the
Like-
septic is pumped routinely. It's
Okay.
every summer at end of August.
Right.
And so we haven't had
Because
an
I'm sure
issue
there'll be some
with
questions.
that. So, but
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe if,
Right.
from, or do we put it on as a capital reserve because we think we're gonna need
Something.
just something to think about.
We can do that. Add to a
I'll put it on
capital
the budget guy.
Yeah, I think.
I'll ask Jim.
Yeah, I think. I think from where I sit, I mean, I think looking at where we were previously,
I mean,
I'm comfortable. I mean, to me, I think I hear what you're saying. I don't want to be caught and need something. I mean, a lot of
we
the.
put a lot of money back in the capital reserve, didn't we? Isn't it up to like 100 and
We've put
We've got
put 100 back.
You know what I mean?
into
But
it.
yeah,
We're
and
up
that
to
won't.
150, I think.
That wouldn't really cover, upkeep with like painting and that sort of thing.
No, but
necessarily.
that would cover us for a
If we had to
large
replace the
capital
septic.
expenditure.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have a better idea of what our tuition numbers come in at and health insurance before, if they're,
Gotcha.
then we can, that's my
And
2 cents.
we could grow the capital reserve a little more as well, based on
Yeah.
undesignated fund balance like we did last year, which caught us up pretty far.
Right, but I don't think we should be painting the walls with a capital reserve fund.
No,
Exactly,
no,
right.
but I think that
That's what
stuff
she's
needs
gonna
to be.
use this.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I want to keep it up because I don't want to go back to the well for $1 million bond again.
Right.
When we've let stuff slide.
Let's never do that.
No,
Let's like.
not in my lifetime, and I got 4 years left to live, so
All right.
at least. Yes.
Moving along.
Moving on up to page 16. I had a big question here. It gets answered on the next one. Janet knows right where that question
Oh
is.
boy! Don't
She
even
smiled.
ask.
No, but it was transfer to food service.
Big jump.
Big jump.
That's
It's
gonna
all right.
go down some.
Okay, I figured that too. But I'm going to leave that as a big question for right now because we're moving on to food service. Because we had increased the food service assistant to benefit Bearing,
Right.
we had to cover that offset in the budget. So I had a big question. I got a page over and I'm like, oh, that's why. So,
Thank you for.
was there something you wanted to talk about there?
Well, I'm just expecting, I haven't seen the final elections, but I think it's going to be less in insurance than I have budgeted.
Perfect. I like that too, so it could save on that side as well.
But until it's final, I
Until
don't
it's
know.
final, leave it the way you have it.
Yes.
Okay. Food service, wages, substitute. The wages was a decision that we had made last month.
Mhm.
And that's reflective in there.
Thank goodness.
Well-deserved reflection.
Right.
I'll say that out loud. Retirement, everything else. So, getting down to the bottom
The
of
bottom.
page 18. Wait a minute.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, 19.
There's too much white space here.
There's a lot of white space between the bottom of 18 and top of 19.
It doesn't make any sense, does
No, it does not.
We're fine with it, Heather.
So,
I didn't
right,
print it in color, so you're fine.
right now we're at
Either way.
a total dollar variance of 104,550.11, with some other minor changes from tonight. So we're roughly at about a 2.5% increase right now. It says 1.47 right there, but the 40,000 back in for the playground stuff and some
Right.
other
Yeah.
things. So
The big items we're waiting for, right, is obviously the tuition from Kenneth to come in, and then we're negotiating right now, so we need to figure out the staff increases.
And that will be
Yeah.
a separate warrant
and that will
article,
be a
so
separate warrant
Right.
article.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice work.
Other questions, budget-wise?
So that staff increases and the CBA's approved by both sides or whatever happens, goes as a separate warrant article, separate from the budget.
That's correct.
Right. And then years 2 and 3, it's in the budget.
Yes. So year one it'll be, shall the voters of the Madison School District vote to raise and appropriate the sum of, let's say the first year is $42,000. for the first year of the collective bargaining agreement. That's what they're gonna approve, and usually we list out year 2 and 3 anticipated to be 5,000 and 8,000, whatever they are.
You shouldn't use those numbers, Jim, come on.
That's right.
I mean, you are like really.
800 something, right?
Right, so yes, so that's how it would be.
I heard him say the second year was only gonna be 8.
Well, and the problem is, the reason you don't raise and appropriate year 2 and 3 up front is because if you have staffing changes,
Right,
or if you remove staff or add staff, it's gonna change those numbers drastically.
right.
Moving on, Heather, did you have anything else, Heather Sherwood or Woodard?
Is that okay if I should?
We should, no.
All right, default budget, Heather has worked on that for us so that you have it here, because that'll get listed in as well. The default budget comes in at a 102 increase, which is 1.44, so very similar to the other, because there aren't many changes in there.
No, I included the health insurance increase in here and the transportation. The student support position was taken out of here. Retirement was decreased because
Corrected.
to actual. So
Yep.
yeah, it's pretty darn similar to the version 2 budget.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're moving into, superintendent.
All right, my report's pretty boring this evening because we've been focusing a lot on budget.
How was your
Why don't you share that with
How
us?
was your wording?
Yes, I'd be happy to share. So SAU 913, I spoke with Amy, and I did share that after our last joint board meeting, we are going to try to do a different setup for our joint board meetings.
Yes.
So we'll meet before the SAU 9 meeting. I believe that's going to be in January. So that's the big update between 9 and 13. We do have some roundtable discussions coming up for sending
14th.
towns, 14th. So there'll be all the sending towns getting together to discuss negotiations. Policy update. We just met with policy, so we're going to have an acceptable use policy that will be brought to the next board meeting, as well as a volunteer policy. So Heather kindly pointed that out, that we had a volunteer policy that was just left in limbo, I believe prior to before me. So it's been hanging out there for a little while. We had one go through a first read, and then that's it. So we're going to be on good books with our volunteer policy. We have been following the policy, but it's just not in place. So there we have it.
Perfect.
All right, questions for Mike? Moving on, new business. So we have a alphabet soup list of policies for a first reading. I'm just going to read down the letters. ACF, which is Food Nutrition Services. ADB, which is Drug-Free Workplace. ADC, which is
E-cigarettes.
tobacco use and e-cigarettes. DAFB, which is equivalents in instructional staff and materials. Then we have
Criminal.
GBCD-R-RG, which is criminal history records, information, internal controls and procedures. GBEC, which is
Drug-free workplace.
drug-free workplace. GBED, which is tobacco, e-cigarettes.
Didn't we already talk about that?
Yeah.
It's pretty redundant, huh?
No, you can't have
There's a
multiple,
lot
right?
more there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where
there-
there's redundancy.
Some are students, some are
Oh, I
staff.
see.
Got it, okay.
Don't smoke, people.
Or drink.
It's hard as heck to quit.
Or swear.
Can't give up.
I tell the Jackson every single day when I drop off at school. No drinking, no smoking,
IHBA, Program for Pupils with Disabilities. IHBAR, which is Notice Status of Parents and Student Rights, a program for pupils with disabilities. JI, Student Right and Responsibilities. JICD, which is student discipline and due process. That one's a few pages long. Then we have JICG, which is tobacco, e-cigarettes, and use on school grounds. JKAA, which is use of restraints and seclusions. Whew. Okay,
That's new business.
that's new business.
Bring it to the old business.
So I will take a motion to,
I'll motion.
motion by Ed, a second by Jeremy, as a first reading of those said policies. Any discussion? Anybody wordsmith? Anything need to be done? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries.
That's a lot of information.
Yes, so
That's important though.
next is a job description approval.
So these are tied in with our Title IX policy, so this was part of this, the first read. So this is the Human Rights Officer and Title IX Coordinator, and this,
Yes.
all these policies are part of that second read that are part of the updates to Title IX.
And we made no changes last month when we did those as a first reading.
Right.
So, without further ado, I will take a motion.
You aren't gonna read Abacadabra? That's a lot of, no?
I'll let you if you want.
No, Jim, you.
Oh, no, I have a motion by Ed not to read it and move forward. As a second reading adoption, second by Sarah.
Yes.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed or abstaining? Carries.
Good work.
Wow.
Ed.
Carol left something off my agenda.
Motion of adjournment.
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna have to wait till.
We'll have to wait till Carol can send us an updated agenda.
Good luck with that.
Motion to adjourn by Ed, second by Sarah. All in favor?
Alright.
Aye. Thank you all. Jeremy, thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you for
Thank you,
everything.
Jeremy.
Stay safe.
Thank you, Jeremy. We love